Okay, we're back. So, like I said, I'm using some water to soothe my voice. My wife's home sick too, so we had a little interruption. She's got to go and plant a couple of plants she bought, but it's not raining yet, so she's out there. I'm doing this. So we got a letter assigned to each of these now, and we know that each of the building block patterns is surrounded by an accidental. And we also know that each of the building block patterns is going to get a letter assignment. We know that they stack directly on top of one another. 6, 7 root going to 2, 3, 4. 7 root 2 going to 3, 4, 5. We also know that each of these not only has a letter shape assignment, that these are the bottom strings in the entire fretboard for each one. So there's your 3, 4, 5. There's your 6, 7 root. They count right along. There's your 2, 3, 4. So we know we have that isolation, that accidental, that bookend isolation kind of thing. So we have the bookend isolation here between these two shapes. Now, that isolation note isn't necessarily part of the cage shape, because they never were, right? They were just no plays. But still they do isolate. So the bottom string is defining for these shapes. So the D shape would be 2, 3, 4 right there, isolated from the other shapes. That isolation leads us to a progression, a circle, and in this case it goes in fifths, C to G. Fifth of G is D. Fifth of D is A. Fifth of A is E, but we go to an augmented fifth when we're going in fifths. So the fifth of E is B, augmented C. We know that. We also know now, before I talk about the modal assignments, we have the fact that each of these bottom string defining string patterns is unique, and it can also be played from any string. So we've kind of circumvented the tuning warp a little bit there, because we just find the note, no matter where it is, it's going to be played as is from the starting point of that pattern, mini pattern, that string pattern. Okay, so we know we have the same situation. For instance, we have bookend isolation here on the Mixolydian. Anywhere you look on a 5-6 here, we have that same bookend isolation. What does that mean? Those bookends, they give us the fifths. The fact that these are a fifth apart. Okay? Now when we're going the other direction, it's in fourths. The fourth of D is G. The fourth of G is C. The fourth of C is F, but it's a diminished fourth to a major third, is E. The fourth of E is A. The fourth of A is D. So going down the fretboard, those isolated string fragments are in fourths now. So if I'm on the G G pattern, 6, 7 root, fourth of G is C. That kind of thing. Now, of course, they're still caged, and caged isn't in fourths or fifths. Caged is in pentatonic scales. So caged is in pentatonic scales. So the C scale, but the C shape goes on a descending pentatonic scale to the A shape. Let's turn on the C shape, goes to the A shape, goes to the D shape, goes to the E shape, goes to the D shape, goes to the A shape, and on and on and on. Caged is a descending pentatonic scale, whereas the magic and the string circles are ascending and descending in fifths or in fourths. That is the difference. So that's a very interesting thing. Remember, caged is the sharing of notes. Pentatonic scale. Now there's something else that's in the pentatonic scale that's important that we should discuss right now. And that is the modal progressions. The modal progressions, okay, they are also encaged if you look at them right. So just want to make sure I'm recording. You see me glancing over there. I got to make sure I'm not on pause, or heckling with my wife to ask her, are you going out to do the chores, or are you going to sit there and try to learn this when she's, she doesn't have a guitar. She has guitars. She could probably borrow mine when I'm out at the gym, but she has a little piano. It's cute over in her camper there. She does a little music. Occasionally asks me to play a little song. Anyway, to make a long story short, so looking at this diagram here, and I didn't mean to skip over this, but this is a lot of talking, and I'm losing my voice. If you look at the string fragments, okay, the string circle, the string patterns, pattern means this ain't going to change. It's not involved with a tuning thing. This is just string, 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 string. No matter what string you're on, this is going to be the same. Might be in a different key if you move it around, in half steps. This is the Phrygian Lydian. So if you're in a certain key, let's say key of C, you start at 3, 4, 5, and just go up. Now this isn't the pattern. You can follow the pattern. Okay? That's Phrygian. Lydian would be. Alright. So Aeolian would be off the 6th. Okay, Dorian would be the 2nd. Mixolydian would be starting from the 5th. And Locrian would be starting from the 7th. And then Ionian would be starting from the root. Okay, so that's why I just brute force. You know what brute force means? It means get your feet wet. Modal shapes. So I put them to the string fragments here with the string circle and all that stuff. So remember, we've got the string circle and the magic circle are pretty much going in different directions. One's in fourths, one's in fifths. But let's look at this. Before we get into this stuff, which always lures me in, I tried to discuss something that is the opposite of what you're talking about. It's one of my personality problems. So let's look at this.